Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Weather or Not. I'm Gavin Sandel, joined with forecaster Dennis Khrulov. Dennis, how have the temperatures looked this week, and how will they change this weekend?
So temperatures this week have been pretty cold with highs only in the 30s and 40s, so pretty cold, especially what we've seen last week. But anyway, as we head into this weekend, we're going to see a nice rebound with temperatures rising back up into the upper 50s to low 60s as high pressure builds into the area.
Well, that sounds like a great forecast. For those who like pleasant conditions, it's definitely the forecast for you. But if you are going to the Penn State-Maryland game this weekend down in College Park, what is your forecast for those people?
Down there, it's going to be a little bit warmer with highs making possibly into the mid-60s under mostly sunny skies, not feeling like early November at all. Hopefully forecasting a Penn State win as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's get straight into nature in the news.
While it may be still too warm and too early in the season here in Pennsylvania for winter storms, other parts of the country are already jumping straight into the winter season. A dynamic winter storm impacted much of the northern United States on Wednesday, October 25th, bringing the worst impacts to states such as Montana. A combination of much colder air moving in from the northwestern Canada combined with plentiful of Pacific moisture allowed for significant snows to fall. What is more surprising is days prior, temperatures were in the 80s across much of the state under mostly sunny skies. That wasn't the scene on October 25th as heavy snow dumped across the area, leading to slick road conditions yet pretty views. The highest snow reports were recorded between 14 to 18 inches, with some of the highest elevations receiving over 2 feet. As the system moved further east, it continued to drop lighter snows of 2 to 6 inches across North Dakota and portions of Minnesota.
The National Atmospheric and Oceanic Administration recently released their winter weather outlook. Each year, the organization gives their best guess on how the country will feel in terms of temperature and precipitation from December through February. Several factors, including the current El Nino, the North Atlantic Oscillation, and global warming occur miles away from us, but have a major impact on what kind of weather we will feel in the winter. In terms of temperature, much of the country is forecast to experience above average conditions, with greater confidence as you head northward. A good portion of the southeast is a coin flip. They'll have equal chances of seeing above or below average temperatures. Looking at precipitation, the green belt of wetter than average conditions is focused on the southeast, especially Florida. Places further north should expect a dip in their winter precipitation totals. Here in Pennsylvania, we'll forecast to have a warmer winter than average, but an equal chance in terms of precipitation. Us at Weather or Not will have a more detailed winter outlook coming to you soon.
So after a pretty cold and unsettled week, we might have our first dry weekend here in State College in quite a long time. Anyway, before we get that, I want to mention that we saw our first measurable snow here in State College on early Wednesday morning. Officially, a tenth of an inch fell. And this is the earliest measurable snow here in State College since the year of 2011, so it's been quite a while. If you were out and about Wednesday morning, you probably saw those flurries in the air. Anyway, starting back to our weekend forecast, Friday, we're going to be seeing mild and dry conditions with high pressure overboard bringing in these pleasant conditions. Again, high pressures generally bring in these calm conditions with the sinking air, allowing for a pleasant end to the week to our area. By Saturday, we're going to see this high pressure system move off to the coast, but otherwise still bring light effects to our area, keeping us mostly dry and clear with a few clouds possible. We will have a system begin to develop across portions of Michigan, bring some rain showers there, but this system will be very weak and short-lived, so bring no impacts here to central PA. And then as we head into Sunday, we're going to see another high-pressure system develop to our south, bringing in even warmer conditions to our area. But the big picture here is that we're going to stay dry all 3 days throughout the weekend. So if you have any weekend plans, they will be good to go. And make sure to make those weekend outdoor plans because it's been quite a while since we've had a fully dry weekend. Anyway, starting off with Friday, we're going to see a high temperature of 56 degrees with increasing clouds, but otherwise staying dry. Friday night, a low of 39 degrees. It's going to be dropping off pretty low in the overnight. Make sure to bring a jacket or hoodie if you're planning to go out because it's going to drop off pretty quickly into the overnight hours. By Saturday, we're going to make it up to 57 degrees with pleasant conditions. We'll see a few clouds stick into the afternoon and evening hours, but otherwise a pretty pleasant afternoon. Saturday night, it's going to be dropping off pretty quickly again with lows making down to 42 degrees. So again, bring those jackets if you're planning to go out Saturday evening and into the overnight hours. And by Sunday, it's going to be the warmest day of the weekend with highs making it into the lower 60s with a few clouds possible in the afternoon hours. Anyway, the big key this weekend, do not forget the time change is coming up. We're going to be falling backwards. Remember, at 2 a.m. on Sunday, change those clocks back to 1 a.m. and we'll be getting an additional hour of sleep this weekend. Anyway, up next, we have a feature by David Guerrero on weather and soccer.
There exists a sport that transcends borders and cultures, uniting people from every corner of the globe. It's a game where time seems to stand still as moments of breathtaking art unfolds on the pitch. It is the world's most popular sport, where the quest for victory is matched only by the pursuit of grace. However, soccer is not immune to the influence of Mother Nature. Weather can play a significant factor in the way this sport is played, from the strategies employed by the teams to the performance and safety of the players. One way weather can influence the game is wind, which has the potential to be both a friend and a foe to players and coaches alike. The most noticeable impact of wind on soccer is its effect on the flight of the ball. Wind can alter the path of the ball, making it challenging for players to predict its movement accurately. When a strong wind is blowing across the field, a ball kicked high into the air may veer off course or lose its momentum. However, when blown in the opposite direction, the ball will travel longer distances and will be more powerful. To compensate for this, players must adapt their techniques. This is especially important for Penn State's men's soccer team, as they constantly adjust to their positioning in order to give their goalkeeper more passing options.
Like, for instance, Shake's taking goal kicks. Like, if he kicks the ball against the wind, the ball's not going to go far, so maybe we're going to drop a bit more as a team than we would originally.
Rain also has the potential to influence the game. When it starts to pour, a dry and well-maintained field can become a slippery and muddy battleground. This change in the field can have both positive and negative consequences. On the positive side, rain may bring favorable conditions for the players as it can influence the speed of the ball.
I like kind of like a sleek surface, not too wet but not dry, just so the ball moves a bit faster and the speed of play of the game goes a bit faster.
With a slightly wet surface, the increased speed of the ball may lead to a more methodical and deliberate style of play, which results in more scoring opportunities. However, excessive rain can be detrimental to the quality of the game, as long passes and through balls are less effective, as they can easily be intercepted or overhit due to the dampness of the pitch. As a result, players have to quickly adjust to these adverse conditions.
Whether it's wind or rain, so I think you just take and give like what's there and you kind of formulate a plan when you're there.
The most direct way that weather affects soccer is through extreme heat, as it can significantly impact players' performances. In hot conditions, players are at risk of dehydration, heat exhaustion, and reduced physical endurance. This in turn affects soccer players' physical performances. Players tend to tire more quickly and experience a decrease in their overall physical capabilities. This includes reduced sprinting speeds, agility, and endurance. High temperatures can lead to excessive sweating, causing players to face certain physical challenges.
Definitely hydration is a challenge because you're sweating a lot, losing a lot of fluids throughout the game, so just preparing the day prior, drinking a lot of water and electrolytes.
Obviously there's an issue with hydration, which can really be, when someone becomes seriously dehydrated, that can be very problematic for your healthy function of your body.
Heat can significantly impact the quality of play during a soccer match, as heat affects the style and pace of play.
With high temperatures, I think you try to maintain more control of the ball maybe try to have not as much of an open game where the game is moving back and forward rapidly, trying to control the tempo and maybe sitting a little bit deeper defensively, so you're trying to minimize the amount of distance you cover.
This shift in gameplay can result in slower paced matches with fewer bursts of speed, as players aim to minimize physical exertion in the sweltering heat. The impact of heat on soccer also extends to the mental aspect of the game. Heat-related fatigue can affect a player's ability to make quick and accurate decisions, which are essential in a sport that demands constant adaptation and teamwork.
Because I think you fatigue a lot faster, so the level of play goes down sometimes, so you just have to be that much more focused when you're playing in hot temperatures.
Other factors such as humidity can also influence the game, as a high wet bulb temperature can further worsen the heat stress among players. With this, teams have implemented certain measures in order to ensure the safety of its players.
Yeah, our athletic trainers are the ones who make that decision in consultation with the game management people and the officials. So I believe it's over 82 degrees reading on the wet bulb. You know, I think the combination of heat, humidity, and sun would all add up to making sense to take heat breaks to give the players a chance to recover a little bit, and also importantly to hydrate. Those breaks are critical for taking onboard fluids.
Ultimately, soccer is a sport that embraces a variety of conditions, and players, coaches, and fans must all contend with the influence of weather on the beloved game.
On a different day, you know, can I guarantee you we would have won the game if it had been typical central Pennsylvania gray and rainy? You know, I'm not sure, but I think the heat definitely impacted our ability to play the way that we want to do on that particular day.
Either as a source of adversity or a factor that spices the sport, weather remains an integral and dynamic aspect of the world's most popular game. For Whether or Not, I'm student meteorologist David Guerrero.
So once again, we're going to be seeing a dry weekend in State College, the first one since early September. Starting with your quick weekend recap, again, Friday we're going to see high temperatures make it into the upper 50s with increasing clouds expected. Then again, Saturday night's going to be dropping off pretty quickly with lows making it down into the upper 30s. Saturday and Sunday is going to be looking pretty great as well, with highs making it into the upper 50s to low 60s, with again a mix of sun and clouds around, and low temperatures for both Saturday and Sunday night will be dropping down into the low to mid 40s. And taking a look at your extended forecast, that system that I talked about in Wisconsin is going to be bringing impacts to your area on both Monday and Tuesday. But we're looking at temperatures will remain a bit above average. Our average high for this week is around 49 degrees. So we're going to be pretty well above that on Monday and Tuesday, with highs making it into the mid to upper 50s. With rain showers again by Wednesday, we're going to see one dry day really next week, in the middle of next week, with highs back to around average. But then Thursday, we're going to see another system make its way into our area, bringing the threat for precipitation and well below average temperatures. And we should end the week on a drier note, but a much colder note as we head into next week.
Well, very interesting to see those temperatures. They're just like a roller coaster. And on the lower end of that roller coaster, you'll see those colder temperatures, and that's what we're talking about in today's Weather Whiz quiz. And the question for you guys has to do with the snowfall that we saw today at Walker, and we're comparing it to average. So on average, which date does State College first experience measurable snowfall? Is it A, October 22nd, B, November 2nd, C, November 10th, or D, November 15th? If you guessed D, November 15th, you would be correct.
So our snow on Wednesday, which was on November 1st, is a bit above ahead of schedule of November 15th.
Yeah, absolutely. So like we were speaking about with the extended forecast, it'll be very interesting to see with those ramped up temperatures and then those kind of tumbling down. We'll see when the next chance of snow will happen.
Definitely will be coming up pretty soon.
So with that, thank you so much for joining us on Whether or Not, and we'll be excited to see you next week.